This is the movie I've been waiting for since we started doing this.
So fucking
Like not
good.
just director's dives, but since we started doing this
This is the
whole,
movie.
yes, this is it. This is the one. I was hoping we get here eventually, so I'm glad we did.
Yeah,
Made it.
this is a big one. I mean, for me too. I mean, I'll just let me just open the floor by saying that this movie
Open the
was
floor.
one of
Sorry.
the best movie experiences I've ever had in my entire life. And I don't want to just like say that like for every movie because like this one specifically, it just was like I don't know the theater experience that I had. I went to see this in
Yeah.
Meadowview,
I
and
remember seeing it in theaters.
I had gotten freshly stoned. I hadn't smoked in like months, so it was just like one of those highs that like sent you to the fucking moon, you know. And I was with a girl at a time, and her friends were not old enough to go see it, so we almost went and saw fucking Big Miracle, some movie about a whale. Came out about the same time.
Fuck yeah.
Didn't see it because I was like, dude, I came here to see Django. I'm seeing like, and me and my
Wait, so
buddy,
did you like bail on all of
they
them?
left.
They went to go
They
see
went and
this
saw.
fucking
They just
whale
left.
movie?
I was like, dude, I'm so I went. I came to see Django. Like, and
Fuck yeah,
so
dude.
me and my buddy, me and Shay, just went and watched Django. And I could like pick out every single person in the theater and why they came that night, and like why they went to see this movie, what relationship status they're in, were they on a date? Did they just come to see this movie? Um, and I mean, then the movie started, and like it just sent my brain into another dimension. Like like the whole audience was just laughing their asses off. Like people were just there for it. I was there for it, and I don't know. It just the opening scene just brought me in and never let me go, and it was I'll never forget that experience. So
Hell yeah.
Man. Yeah, I remember the theater experience being quite special too, because I saw it in theaters and it was just like I think might have been my first Tarantino movie in theaters ever. So it was just like
here.
just like boom.
Damn,
all the
I wish it was
acting,
my
the
first
writing.
Tarantino.
Yeah. What do you remember like what your first one was, Alex?
In
Or if you saw one?
theaters?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Hollywood actually is my first Tarantino in theaters I saw.
Really?
That's a pretty good
Wow.
one too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was my baby. I'd seen Inglorious Bastards before it on TV, so I kind of
Right.
like had seen some Tarantino stuff, and that's what made me like get to this one in theaters. And I'm so happy I did.
I think this might have been mine too, because I don't think I
Yeah.
like went to go see any of his before this. But it's either
Yeah.
this one
Yeah.
or Hollywood for me too, because I know I
It's-
didn't see Hateful
Nobody
Eight
went
in
to see the
theater.
Hateful Eight. I did. I was like the only guy in the
It's
theater.
it's funny because you say this is your like most cherished or whatever you want to call it theater experience. And going to high school, one of the people I was friends with, they said that they snuck into Django to see it because they weren't old enough at the time. But they snuck in and they said it was the best theater experience they ever had as well. So,
It's a
maybe
ride
it
of a
just had that
movie
effect.
that, like,
Yeah.
one, it's just so entertaining and so funny. Like we'll get into
Right.
more obviously, but like to see it with a group of people is something like completely special. I'd say like it's like
Definitely. I mean,
it's
when I
raucous
first watched
if
it,
that's the right word for it. You know, like it's like it's
When
such a
when I
like
first
Hype. Yeah.
when I first watched it, I immediately wanted to show everybody I knew. Like I watched it the first day I watched it, and then I watched it two more times that same day because I went and showed my friend, and then I showed Sarah, and it's just like I have to show people this movie because it fucking rules. So yeah, no,
I
it's a
remember that.
contagious movie.
I remember like when it came out, like I mean people were raving about it. Like it was probably like the most hype Tarantino movie I remember people like
Yeah.
in the common conversation.
I would have to agree.
His
Because
most
I feel like I don't know. This one was like super fucking hyped up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to say
Of,
it's
like,
made him the
Tarantino
most money,
movies.
or like it made the most money in theaters out of his
I
can
movies
see
too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy because like the podcast I guess I listen to and stuff, like whenever they mention Tarantino, like Django never comes up, which is crazy to me because I don't know, it's a perfect movie.
There,
I mean,
I know. I remember also at the time that there was a lot of controversy about it because obviously it's
Right.
Tarantino and he's saying the N word over probably like 200 times in this movie.
Holy shit. I'm not going to lie. I had to keep my TV down because I'm just like, dude, there's like every
Somebody's
sentence is the
being
N-word. Like,
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't want fucking people like just walking by to be like, what the fuck is this guy listening to?
Yeah. I would hope that if you just catch a snippet of this like this movie, you know it's Django. You know, like at least I've
Oh, yeah.
seen it so many times, or like it's
Yeah.
been memed so many times that you kind of know it's like the Django stuff. But
Dude, that punch him of Leo at when you first go to the Mandingo, like that is like the classic
Tip.
meme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny too, because like the way I look like at work, like actual, like going to work, and all the places I've worked, I try not to make friends with people because it's just work, and I just want to treat it that way. But there was this one guy who, one of my things I always ask for an icebreaker is just like, hey, what's your favorite movie? And this one guy said his favorite movie was Django, and that's the only guy I've ever worked with where I was like,
Just shook
you're a
his
cool
hand
dude.
right after that.
Yeah.
Friends now.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if the controversy is something that like held back its like prestige maybe in this time or
Maybe.
whatever, but I
Yeah.
mean, to me,
Maybe.
the entertainment value just blasts through like any. I
Yeah.
don't know. I wrote a long spiel about like, is Tarantino justified in writing this? I don't know. What you guys?
Is
if
he
you have any-
justified in putting in that much gore?
I mean, he's
yeah.
had to answer
Right.
that for his
For the
entire
entertainment
career.
value. Yeah, true.
I don't know. Do you have any like? Do you think like there's any issue with him writing this project or what?
No.
I don't think so.
No, I don't
I
think so
mean,
either. It was a
if he's
great
just-
story. I mean, like,
Yeah, that's the thing. At its core, this is the perfect story. I mean, it has like we've said, it's funny. It's got gore. It's got
It's almost fairy
got
tale like.
drama.
yeah, like the
Yeah.
ties to the fairy tale of like
Right.
what
It's like a myth.
Exactly.
It's
yeah.
like a folklore
Uh,
character.
Not
Mhm.
Matilda.
Yeah.
Is it Matilda?
Broomhilda.
It's
The
got
German
everything you
Broomhilda?
need in a story to
Broomhilda,
make it
yeah.
likable and just I don't know. And it's got like things that connect. You got the Broomhilda story where it's like
Yeah.
we're watching the Broomhilda story and it's just Django and Broomhilda, and then you
Yeah.
have I don't know. It's a perfect story. So yes, he's justified. I mean, it goes with his like we said, it's his fantasy of an alternate universe where
Yeah. I
it
mean,
was a possibility for a slave to become a bounty hunter and get his wife that, and finally get their freedom. It's
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I got is like,
Wholesome almost.
yeah. I mean, it's like, I was like, is
In
it
the goriest
okay?
way.
I came to like, I wrote all this shit down. I was like, at the base of it, I was like, is it okay to have like a white man to have a fantasy of a black slave, like getting even and like killing all his slave owners? Like, hell yes. Like, that's
That's
totally
the social
rooted in, like-
justice
yeah.
everyone's
so-
fighting for, man.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's, to me, it's like
I don't
he's
know.
the guy who pulled the trigger on it. And I don't know how to say this without like coming off badly, but if like a black person wrote this story, it wouldn't have like the like sardonic, sarcastic tone that comes with Tarantino from like an outsider perspective. It would be kind of more pointed and more personal, obviously, which, that's not a bad thing, but like it's Tarantino's his way he takes it outside of himself, I guess. I don't know if that's the way to put it, but like he's outside the story enough that he's looking down on all the characters. And I only feel contempt for all the white characters. I only feel like heroicism and like tribulation for the black characters, which is like which a great journey,
That's the point.
like, yeah. So I don't know. I hear a lot I remember in that time, I was working at the nuclear power plant and one of the dudes, we saw the trailer for this movie and he's like, I don't think somebody should say the N-word that many, like he shouldn't be saying the N-word. And I was like, I don't know. It's like it roots this movie in such a time and place that's so real, and then gives you all that fantasy release of like everything. I
Yeah,
don't know.
honestly, like it makes you like hate the fucking white characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like just based on like how much they fucking
Dude.
like I don't know how fucking bad they are. Like I don't know, they're just
I mean, it's like I feel like it's all sort of
like that's the
coalesces.
point. Like I feel
Yeah,
like because you're supposed I don't know you're supposed to be on the side of fucking Django or like the black people in this movie because like
Yeah.
I don't know. In my opinion, that's like part of the point of this movie. But
Right.
I don't know.
Like all.
Also, I
feel-
will
you
say, like Tarantino, like we've talked before about how a lot of Tarantino movies have like female leads. and like female protagonists, and like I don't know, I feel like he likes doing like those social justice things where like you have like either a female protagonist or a black protagonist, and like you're like I don't know, having them overcome their struggles or like the struggles of that like particular group. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
In a realistic and
And
like
just because it's
enjoyable
like
way.
made by a white dude, I don't think makes it a bad thing. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah,
Like
I get
And
that.
I
that's
don't
the
really
thing,
think
like,
that that should take away from it if it's like coming from a good place. You know? I
Right.
don't,
Yeah, totally.
I mean, same with Jackie Brown. I mean, he ticks both boxes with that. I mean, a black woman was his lead. I mean, the book is based off of a completely different character. He wrote his movie and had Pam Grier in mind, and that was who he wrote it for, right? So it's just like he knows his characters and he knows how to write them and put them in these stories that he
Right.
has, whether it be an alternate universe or the one time he based it off something but created it in his own way.
Mhm.
He just has so much care for the characters that he writes that it's just hard to believe that people are like, should he be writing these things? It's like at least
Yeah.
he cares about the characters and writes them to where they're like not insufferable. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess that's like the only thing
Yeah,
you could
no,
argue
good
then is
point.
like, is his heart in the right place? And like to me, like that's why this movie was so great. Is like the first time is like instantly in the opening scene, you can tell like what side he's on. I mean, he introduces Schultz and Django in such a way
Yeah.
that like you can't help but get on their side and like you
yeah,
love it.
like
Like
Yeah.
just like the fucking with the slave owners and then killing them and taking the slaves for freedom. It's just like yeah, like
When the one when the fucking guy when he says English, goddamn it, and Schultz like my bad, it is a second language. I'm like, this is just so like
can you stop your caterwauling for a
perfect.
minute
Yeah.
while I confer with Django? It's just like,
Yeah.
dude, like the tone. I mean, it's Tarantino, obviously, but it's to me, it's in the right place, 100%. You know, it's just like
Yeah.
it's founded in a great idea and a great drive. So
And like the man, he's so like he isn't afraid to just put what he wants on the screen. Like I just feel like another writer would have been more of a taking it out when the guy, what does he say? Are you positive that's him? And Django says, I don't know. And
Yeah.
he's like, what do you mean? He's like, I don't know what positive means or whatever. And it's like that is just so it's like it's funny, it's with the times, I don't know. At the times of that time. So
yeah,
Yeah.
it works. And yeah, I don't
yeah. I
know.
mean,
Good comedy.
I had a note here of like the Tarantino must have maybe had I don't know if it's difficulty, but like he has such smart characters all the time, and then he has to have like Django, who's like literally an uneducated, black man.
Right.
Like so, it's like how does he kind of like match up to power levels with all these characters? And like when he says like I'm curious why you're so curious, it's like he doesn't have all the capabilities of like getting it to Candy, but he has like that smirking like tone of like you want to hold my hand, like he's smarter.
Oh,
He's the
yeah.
smartest guy in the room, obviously. By the end of it, like you know that, but like
dude, I love how many times
Yeah.
he like one time he spells out his name, and then like how many times he's like the D is silent.
I
That's
know.
actually that's my game name, not my game name, my gamer name or whatever in League. The D is silent. I've only had one person be like Django fucking rules. I'm like, hell yeah. But
I mean, great dialogue writing throughout the entire film. I mean, that's like
oh,
Oh yeah.
definitely.
this movie. I did note it's
Dude.
it's a chapterless movie, which I think helps it like just
Oh, that is
continue and never
true.
stop. Some
I
of
didn't even
Tarantino's
really
just
notice
like
that.
chunked up in ways,
Neither.
and this one just there are like distinct sections, obviously, but it's like they just flow right into the next.
Yeah.
Dude,
One of the
the
funniest scenes ever in movies, the fucking KKK scene.
The bag scene.
My God.
yeah, like
It's
holy shit.
Yeah, it's
So
great.
funny.
I'm slamming him in his bags.
The- what's
If
fucking
all I
great
had to
too.
do was cut holes in a bag, I could have done it better than this.
Well, fuck all y'all.
What's great about that moment, I think I noticed for the first time, is that he takes the bag off before he rides off on the horse because like he can't even wear the bag to
Can't
ride his
see
own.
fucking shit.
He's like, I'm going home, and he takes the bag off and leaves because he can't see it. So
Yeah,
And-
like
It's,
no other
it's
writer
so
could make
serious.
a KKK scene so goofy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah.
it's like so serious and heavy, and then he puts the bag on, and he's like, I can't see fucking shit out of this, and it just completely turns the tone on the whole thing. It's
Yeah.
very smart.
I never
great.
even realized it was Tarantino in that scene either. He's one of the guys. He's like, he's
Yeah.
the guy that's
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm not pointing any fingers, but next time we do the bags
It could have
right,
been-
we go full regalia. He's that guy. And
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I
once you
didn't even
hear it,
realize
though.
that.
I didn't know
'cause
that
he's
either.
like later in the movie too.
yeah, he's
He's like
he's
the
a couple
Aussie,
hours.
right?
Mhm.
Huh.
Yeah.
But once you hear it's him, it's
That's
like
cool.
he's totally, yeah, you can tell. It took me a lot of watch throughs to realize.
I would not have even. Yeah.
All that matters is getting the fucking horse see. It's a
That's
raid.
right.
Great.
No, I noticed too, like the intro sequence, reminded me a lot of like the Jackie Brown intro sequence, because like they're just kind of like walking the whole time, and I don't know, like that's basically the Jackie Brown sequence, except it's kind of just her walking on a conveyor belt, and it's
Yeah.
like one shot the entire
Scooting.
time basically.
Yeah.
But I don't
Especially-
know. I feel like they were like similar vibes.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah.
I did note too, this is like one of the first times I want to say that Tarantino used like an original score. Like from the instant that opening scene, it's like Django. You just like know what movie you're in instantly. You're like, okay, hell yeah. But he's usually just picking, and he does pick some songs that from like culture here, but like
Right.
there's several that were created specifically for this movie, and I commend him for like trying that.
That's
You know,
cool.
it's different than
Yeah.
what
And then he goes full send in Hateful Eight and just first movie fully composed.
yeah,
which,
from
works. But
Marcone or whatever, right?
So like
yeah.
Interesting.
some people say that like the Hateful Eight is in the same universe as this movie.
So
Is that like
I mean, I think
I
it's in theory all of his movies are, besides
Mhm.
like his
Yeah.
in movie movies or whatever the fuck. But I know in Hateful Eight he originally like had an idea for a Django story after,
Right.
and so he starts it with like a vaguely Django-esque character you can tell in Hateful Eight, and then he takes it like
I mean it's Sam Jackson, right?
So I mean, to me they do feel like spiritually pretty tied, or like even almost like storyly tied. But
Because I could see it.
Yeah.
I guess like I don't know what kind of would trip me up, or what tripped me up watching this. I totally forgot that Sam Jackson was in this movie. But like just the fact that he's in like both movies like just trips me up. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
yeah, for sure.
But I mean,
Very different characters.
yeah.
Yeah,
Motherfuckers
right?
in there ain't here
Yeah.
for no mandingos.
I mean, he's a force in this
12,000.
movie when he comes in.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And this movie too feels pretty cool in Tarantino's catalog. It's like right in the middle, not right in the middle, but it's like the middle of his catalog, and it feels like the collision point of like actors where it's like you got Sam Jackson, who's got like the OG roots back to his like early stuff, and then you got Christoph Waltz, who's like this powerhouse guy who kind of came out in the middle for him in his movies.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you got Leo now, who feels like he's kind of like closing out his career a little bit now with Hollywood and stuff like that. So it's like
Randomly, Jamie Foxx.
yeah, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
he's
Like
Jamie.
any other shit.
Yeah,
Like
he's great in the movie.
Yeah.
Though. I mean, you got to give it to him. He
Oh, yeah,
plays it
definitely.
yeah,
Yeah. Absolutely.
plays it well. But yeah, this it's like just the middle movie where it's like all of Tarantino's actors. They're like the pieces are all there together. Kind of, it's cool.
Yeah, true. Dude, I just love that first image of Django when he's like, "You gonna let me pick my own clothes?" Just in that bright ass like blue tux. Holy shit! That's so goofy.
You mean you want to dress like that?
Yeah.
I mean, the first like 30 to 40 minutes of this movie are magic, in my opinion, too. I mean, the opening stuff obviously gets you there, and then the second scene where they go into town and like they shoot
bar,
the sheriff
yeah.
and get paid for it by
What
the
did
time
you
they
do to
leave.
our sheriff?
Yeah. I even have like maybe it's just this movie is just seared and like the experience is seared in my brain, but I even have like the way
Yeah.
that they take the foam off the beers like seared into my brain.
Ugh.
And, like
Yeah, dude. For some
I
reason,
think I
that
wrote
image
down a
always
comment
stuck
about
with me.
that. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just
It
feels
was
so
kind of
good.
neat.
Yeah.
Satisfying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, so I have a question for you guys. How many of these movies, like these Tarantino movies, have you watched with someone else on this watch through?
I think for me, it was only Inglourious Bastards. I think
Maybe
every
like
other one I
one.
watched alone.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha. What about you, Alex? All by yourself or with anybody else?
All of them are by myself except for Django. Sarah loves Django, so
Gotcha.
she
I
actually
guess
stayed
like,
up till like 11 watching it with me, and her bedtime's
oh
8.
hell yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah,
Okay.
she loves
Worth it.
Django.
I don't
That
know.
good?
I guess I was just like thinking like, I don't know. I feel like this movie in particular would just be like more fun to watch with other people. Which I
Yeah.
don't. I feel like I hardly ever say that because I would probably prefer to watch movies by myself so I can like think about them. But like, I feel like I don't know. I feel like most of Tarantino's shit is like good to watch with other people. And I
Oh,
think even you,
definitely.
Alex, like we're talking about that. I think it was like Pulp Fiction, I think, when you brought it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I get it. Like I don't know. I've watched some of these with other people and I don't know. I think it
It's
was
something.
a
Did
more
they like
enjoyable
them?
experience. Yeah.
Yeah. I can
It's
see that.
something about like sharing, like especially Pulp Fiction. Like I watched it at a bachelor party, and there was like 3 dudes there that hadn't seen it, and it was like them experiencing that for the first time made me experience it for like a first time in a way because I'm seeing
Yeah.
it through like their enjoyment, like seeing if they're laughing at certain parts or if they're,
Right.
you know, so. But even I mean, Inglorious Bastards actually is one of the other ones that Sarah actually enjoys of his movies. So maybe this like run where it starts off like after Kill Bill, she's kind of in because Hateful Eight she's kind of wishy washy with, but even Hollywood she enjoys more than the others. So
Yeah.
You know, I
it's
think I've
just this
only
phase
seen
that's just
like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood like one time. So it'll be nice to watch that again.
For sure.
And I think Hateful Eight I might only have seen one time as well.
you know,
I don't know. It'll be nice to like watch these next two
Yeah.
again.
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Especially I mean with Django, I mean fuck. I turn it on when I just want a comfort movie to watch. But
Yeah, like I was just thinking like I kind of want to watch it again. Like
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know.
just-
Right?
it's something about
just
it
feels
that's
too
just
good.
so yeah, and it's so like for a 2.5 hour long, or is it even 2 hours and 40 minutes?
I think so. Yeah,
It's
something
like
like that.
it feels phew, lightning fast,
Right.
you know.
I was
So
also specifically looking this watch through at like the last 30 minutes of the movie because the most gripes I hear about this movie where it's like, yeah, it's a
yeah,
great movie, and then the last 30 minutes happen and it just keeps going. I was like, this watch through it kind of just washed away all those thoughts I had about it. I was like ready to be like, you know what, kind of see it, but
you need it. You know,
I
it
like
comes full
good.
circle
I
down to the bounty sheet
understand.
that it's
Yeah,
good
Because I
yeah.
luck.
mean,
You
yeah,
know,
basically, yeah.
it's his good luck, and then it's always good luck to keep your first bounty, and it comes around and saves him in the end, and saves him in Broomhilda. So like,
Yeah.
to
you
me
need
it
that.
becomes
I feel like
like,
it's like fully like he's fully a full-fledged bounty hunter now. You know what I mean? Like he's come into like his
Oh
hero.
yeah,
Like it's
that's 100% I was
great.
gonna say. It's Django's movie after Schultz and the climax at Candyland. It's like it finally
Yeah.
becomes like his final like act as his story. Like
I don't know why from this angle,
Yeah,
like
love that.
Nick's like literally looks frozen. Like like from my screen, I guess.
Yeah.
Like in the background on the couch. Like
he's just chilling.
but it's funny actually that you mentioned that last 30 minutes. As we're watching it, it was late, so Sarah was kind of getting antsy to go to bed, but she actually was like, they probably could have taken this last part out, and I was like, Sarah, don't even start with me
Get the
right
fuck
now.
out of here.
It's too late. This is my 100th watch through. I don't need to explain this. So
Right. You have the huge shootout, which like it's super climactic. Like, don't get me wrong, like it's
Yeah.
great, and it feels like it's
Yeah.
the end of a chapter if it was there, But like, I don't know. I need that end. I need it shifts the villain. I think that's like the main problem where it's like Candy is gone, and it becomes like Steven.
Good point.
But I don't know. It becomes a much more
it
like
was always
personal.
Steven though.
Yeah, he's always there,
Yeah.
and it becomes much more like personal to Django in that moment where it's like, I mean, he's obviously fighting against the white man the whole time, but then it becomes this like intense, like personal, like weird black on
Yeah.
black like conflict. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You hate
And-
him for being the reason they get caught, essentially.
right? And he
Yeah.
basically betrays his race, Steven. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like,
Right.
he's like Django tells him, "You're right where you belong. You're not going anywhere. Like you're part of the white."
Yeah, and he makes
Right.
that comparison too, right? Where it's like a black slaver's like even worse than the head black
Right.
person.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure. So I
Yeah.
just I don't know, it becomes like a more lawless situation in the last 30 minutes with what's his name about to cut his dick off or whatever, and then he gets like sent away. There's like a couple beats that maybe go on like too long in the Tarantino second cameo section. But like it's to me, it's all doing the service of getting him back to Candyland with a badass like journey on his back and like.
I mean, even when he's like riding bareback back, and it like does that slow zoom in on the slave in the cage, and it's like it connects with him like
this is
at that point I'm like I'm
fucking
fucking ready like for this like I don't know this end like
And I will say I don't know what the fuck is the problem, but the song that plays there is by John Legend. It's Who Did That to You. I can't find it. I can't add it to any goddamn playlist. It's like basically exclusive to Django Unchained soundtrack, and I can't fucking listen to it the way I want to. And it just that song is such a banger, and like it's so sad that I can't fucking add it. You can add a couple. You can add like Freedom. That's another banger in that one, and then 100 Black Coffins, pretty good banger in that. You know, like. Why not that one? Get fucked. I looked on like every app, bro. It's pissing me off. But
I'm looking right now.
Yeah, good luck, man.
Dude, I gotta say that wire pull on Miss Candy at the end too still fucking gets me.
Slower.
Oh my god,
Miss Laura.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean that's just the over the topness is like what makes this. I mean, Tarantino's he makes cool movies, obviously, but like he's not afraid to go silly with that shit. And like I noted too, there's a moment when Django does his like shooting the snowman shit. Schultz literally like comes into frame from below. Like it's like so comedic how he enters the frame. It's like literally like he is like rising up. I don't know. It's just like Tarantino just going for the fun of the shot and going for the vibe, and like just if when you line all those things up, shots all up, it just like feels so good. Like you just do it, just make it fucking great.
Yeah.
Is it called Who Did That to You?
Yeah.
Damn.
You can't get it?
It's like specifically taken off. Well, I checked Spotify. It's like blacked out. But
dude.
it's like on there, but it's like blacked out. Like you can't listen to it. I don't know like what the fucking deal is.
Dude.
Have you like Googled it like to find out like
there's
what,
no
like
one.
what's
No
up
one
with
gives
it?
a shit as much as I do. I'm the one person in the world. Like
Well, fucking email
annoying, dude.
Quentin, dude. Figure it out.
Oh good.
Just email quentin.tarantino@gmail.com.
That's
and
gotta
somebody
be
will respond.
That's gotta be. I don't. It's just such a and that moment too. That's what catalyzed that song as such a banger. You know, obviously it's like, but I can't
a visual with it.
Explore it. Yeah. What do you guys think? Leo DiCaprio, should he have gotten the supporting actor Oscar, or what's the?
Yes.
I think so, man.
This is the movie that it's between this, Wall Street, and Once Upon a Time, where I'm like, what is Leo's best performance? And I always argue with two of my other friends. They think Once Upon a Time is his best performance, but I don't know. Every time I watch this, I'm like, this might be Leo's. Like, I don't know. It's
think
close.
so. I think so too. I mean, the dedication alone in the scene where he cuts his hand, it's like, it's just like fucking admirable, dude. The guy's bleeding for this movie. Like,
I mean, he's playing a completely despicable character.
Reveals it too, where it's like clearly he knows about it, but he's also playing it to the camera. You know, like he's just a good actor. Like,
and he picks the glass out.
Yeah,
we'll be having white cake.
White. What a line, dude! I don't know. It's just so good.
I don't know. I mean, like as far as like his best role, I don't know if I feel like Wolf of Wall Street might be still like above this for me.
That's
damn good.
I just rewatched Wolf of Wall Street, and I was like, okay, this might take it. But then again, I watching
like,
Django.
What side are you looking for?
I'm like,
yeah.
I guess that's a good point too.
Wolf of Wall Street is definitely his like most energetic, and he probably got the most work on his back, I'd say, in that movie.
I mean, this one is definitely like close. I mean, he does a good job of like making you fucking hate him.
Yeah.
The way he like the way he like hides his insecurities about how dumb he is in this movie really like stands out of like
really good. Yeah. I mean like even before you meet him, the like other dude like talking about how they shouldn't speak French to him because that'll make him feel dumb.
He wants to be called Monsieur Candy, but he doesn't want to be spoken French to. Like, what a fucking idiot. But yeah, I think he did so, at least for like the supporting actor Oscar. I mean, he's like such an essential part of this movie too. Like that,
Yeah.
he really did bring it to a level. I'd say that probably some other people wouldn't be able to. But I don't know. Once upon a time, I kind of see the argument though, because it's like I feel like you get the most intimate with him in that movie, or he like reveals
Definitely.
all of his like what's the right word? I
Yeah.
guess like his childishness or like his like all his like inner actual anxieties. It seems like
Right.
more in that movie, but
What do you think Sam Jackson's best role is?
this is a good
Jackie
role.
Brown.
In Tarantino's
Jackie Brown?
movies? Yeah.
Oh, I
Or
was
just
just
in
saying
general?
it in general, but
Jackie Brown is like the best I've ever
because
seen.
that's what I
Sam
was thinking
Jackson.
It's pretty, I mean,
too.
he carries a lot of that and is like, yeah, he's playing to a lot
He's
of his strengths in that
Very
movie, too.
menacing.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, he's
Yeah.
just smooth. I
But
feel
he's
like
charming as hell in it.
exactly, yeah.
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 This is a great role though for him too. Like
That's what I was like. I don't know about like best, but like it is definitely like way different than anything else I've seen him do.
Mhm.
Like when everybody's finally dead at the end and it's just him and Django and he drops the cane, stands up straight and just starts walking
Yeah.
normal. It's like, you fucker.
Even when he's like sitting
Yeah,
drinking
dude.
with Candy, it's like clearly like
Yeah.
this man's
Yeah.
putting on the act out there. You know, like he's got
Yeah.
more going on. And I guess like also it makes me feel good about Tarantino that like Sam Jackson defends him, because that's like
Yeah.
a no nonsense
True.
dude, it seems like. And to have like
Yeah.
someone like him just fully invest in Tarantino's vision the way that he does with that character, because he's a despicable
Yeah.
character. Like, but he
Right.
knows that this is what like this character would be, and he's fully like on board for it, which is like a way. It's nice. You know, it's good to see. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, someone of his caliber. Yeah.
all right.
Fucking movie rule. So on this watch through, Matt, any change in rating? What,
Oh
or
no,
are we
I
still...
think it solidified the 5-star for me. You know,
Cool.
you know, at the end of the day, I think I might just make this my number one Tarantino movie. Too.
Hell
But
yeah, man.
See. We'll
I think I
see.
might too. Right now, I think it's between this and Inglourious Bastards
Same.
for me.
Same here, so
Yeah.
it's a tough
It's
battle.
close in terms of what is creating this list. I mean, I have all 5-star movies except for like maybe 2 or 3. So it's tough to like say.
All right.
But this is definitely like the top Tarantino. This is the movie that made me solidified my like love for Tarantino. I mean, and like I said, anytime I'm like bummed out or something, I turn on Django and it's just like a nice warm hug.
Yeah,
It'll be
So-
okay.
for sure. Also,
Nice.
I think I'm gonna give
No.
this one 5 too.
hey,
Oh, Tyler.
nice.
Same
Good.
here. Same
5
here.
stars all around. Yeah, I mean, I think it's
Yeah.
definitely his most
Yeah.
like entertaining and like you can put it. This is the one you'd watch with people for sure, like you guys said.
Oh, and it's got like
I
such
have
a
one more
larger
question though, for
audience.
all of you. But
What'd you say,
after you, I don't know. I'm sorry.
What'd you say, Alex? But then yeah, we'll get to the
It just
question.
has it reaches a larger audience too. Like it just appeals to more people than all his other movies. I mean, it has, like I said, it has all those different stories that people can relate to. So
True.
What's the question, Joe?
I guess just it's back to the gore. Like,
Mm.
why was there way more excessive like goriness in this than
Yeah.
any other
Why
of his
not?
movies?
why not?
I
think
mean,
it
you're
just
right. Like,
reflects the like.
I mean, it was fine. Like, I feel like it was like, I don't know, like it
There are
fit the
fountains of
fucking
blood.
movie,
Yeah,
but like,
shit just go crazy.
I don't know. I
Gallons.
guess it was just
One of my favorite parts is when he takes Butch's gun, shoots him, wipes his face off, and then starts shooting everybody else in the room. It's like it's fucking fantastic.
Opens the door. 5 people open the
Yeah.
door and just.
I mean, like, there's sometimes when like bullets will hit a body and just like shit tons of liquid just
Yeah.
sprays
Yeah.
everywhere.
Slow mo and shit.
Like, what the fuck?
I think it
And you
just
have the
packs
lawyer on the
the.
ground that gets shot like 6 times,
Yeah.
screams every single time.
Using him as a human shield.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it just adds
That's
to like
hilarious.
the overall revenge nature. Like
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The opening scene, I go back to it, but the dude shotgun blasts the slave owner, and you just see like the fucking viscera go.
Yeah.
And in that moment, it like solidifies, I think, like a tone. You know, like it's like it's comedic, but it's also like I think it's also trying to pay tribute to like the spaghetti western shit.
Badass. Oh, yeah.
It's bad. It's fucking. It's just badass. Yeah, like that's it. Like,
Yeah.
and this guy's a badass, and like that's the journey we're on, right? I mean,
That's Tarantino's tone. He's just
I question it less in this movie than some other ones, honestly. Strangely, but
Yeah, no, I
better in
feel
this
that.
movie. It's just the
I
spaghetti
feel like
western,
the other one that would fit well in
Yeah,
would be
true.
Inglourious Bastards.
yeah, I mean they get there
I
with
don't
like
know.
the
In my opinion, at
scalping.
least,
I think
like,
this one's like riding that high too. You know, where he's
Yeah.
like, okay, I know I can do it.
Like
I
even
did it,
like
and,
I don't think it would fit that well in Hateful Eight, or maybe like Hollywood either. Yeah,
Right.
maybe.
Hollywood's got the end though. With
I
the
can
blade.
see that. That is a good
like,
point. Yeah,
that gets crazy.
it does get fucking wild at the end.
Yeah.
But okay. Also though, no feet.
Whoa.
Nope.
We had a tracking shot of Django's feet.
That's okay. At the beginning, is that it?
Oh, that's true.
Well, at
That's
the
true. I
beginning,
didn't
but
think
at the
about
end
that.
when he unbuttons his stuff, I'm pretty sure there's like a tracking shot of
Mm.
Django walking, and also the guy who goes to cut off his balls. We get a tracking shot of his feet too. I mean, they're in shoes, but they're his feet.
Okay,
I thought
no
about
bare
that too
feet,
this
though?
watch through.
I think there's
No,
bare feet at the
besides the
beginning though.
slaves.
He restrained
right?
Is it
himself.
just in the
Yeah, I think
chains?
that's it.
It might be.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got
Or at
I
least
didn't
all
think
of his
about that
systems.
this time actually.
No, yeah. I mean, similar to Inglourious Bastards, like he's containing a lot of his like things that don't
Right.
always work for me. You know, he's keeping them like close and keeping it all like very.
Oh, feet don't work for you, Matt.
I mean, not to the level that he wants to fucking show him. That's for damn sure. You know, like
No eyeballs squishing between toes.
if he had his way, it'd be like a puppet show with feet. You know, and just
He would, if he had
Someone
his
got their
way,
toes
he
shot
would be
off.
drinking tequila off of what was her name?
Salma
Selma
Hayek.
Helix.
he did
Yeah,
have his way.
her feet. Oh,
Oh, he
wait,
had his
he
way.
did have his way.
He got it out of his system.
Wait, when you're a director, man, anything goes. Your world's your oyster.
Shit.
I just want to also, I guess at the end, I want to say that him stopping and turning around and watching the explosion at the end of this movie is just like the absolute perfect cherry on top
Such an
of that
amazing
character
choice.
of the
Yeah.
journey of the whole fucking movie. You know, it's just like,
Every other fucking cliche person walking away from the
yeah, he's there to
feels
fucking
good.
revel
Enjoy
in it. You know, like
And he
yeah.
tops it off with his horse dancing.
Right?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
yeah, so
That's a good
good, man.
horse.
So fucking good.